Hyperlocal search ads. So this is very interesting. This lets advertisers have within the ad itself their phone number, things like directions, and I think the one thing this is great for is chain restaurants or anything with that a national organization with many different locations, because wherever a search happens, the closest one will show up in that ad with the closest phone number rather than some 800 number. What have you found from all of that, in terms of the kind of success metrics of?
We have seen like Rice case study is a great one. They're a Hawaiian fusion chain restaurant. They got 800% ROI on their hyperlocal ads, 40% increase in calls. You have the numbers here. Many customers have got really impressive results on hyperlocal. I will mention one more thing we have done that's kind of behind the scene in hyperlocal. I think we announced it. I don't know how many people read our blogs. We actually incorporate the distance between user and business into our ad ranking. So if you are standing here and there are 5 businesses around you at slightly different distances, and let's say their ads quality is more or less same in all other respects, then the business that's closer may get a higher rank. Of course, it's like we blend in all types of signals to determine rank, but distance is a signal in our rank on mobile, specifically on mobile, when we have a good signal. So that's very significant, right?
Absolutely.
And that's why we see businesses continue to get very high ROI from hyperlocal, because these ads actually trigger only when the user is close to the business, not anytime.
No, and it is a big deal whenever Google does anything to tinker in any way with the algorithm or ranking factors or quality score. Now that's something you've done in mobile only, obviously. It doesn't apply as much to the desktop. And it's interesting, that brings up another point. We've seen Google start to change the ranking factors in mobile in certain ways. That's one example. Another one which you've announced recently is that sites that are not optimized will get deranked, or they'll not deranked, but they will.
Sites that are optimized will get a boost.
Well, yeah, we'll get a boost, right? That's probably 2 different ways of saying the same thing.
I want to stay with the positive here.
Yes, of course, of course. And actually, that's one of the ones. We'll get more into that. So another part of this that is interesting, and just as background, national businesses that they need Google to know where all of their locations are. So this is also tied to the Google local extensions, correct? So if they're signed up for that, and that also helps in their online campaigns to get the closest location to show up based on where the searcher is.
It's very simple to do. You create location extensions, which presumably most customers have done if they have locations, or they should, and you choose mobile and it just works.
Okay, it just works. Someone else said that at one point. Who was that? I'm just kidding. Okay, this is the one we actually just talked about. So proximity now joins the many things that Google is doing to kind of come up with a quality score. So I guess we kind of went over this. And the thing, actually, the other point to make here is the fact that you're now doing this almost compels the previous point, making sure that you have these geo-targeted campaigns, location-specific ads, because now if you don't, you're missing out on the fact that you could be getting, basically more traffic without bidding higher. It's really just a matter of turning something on. It doesn't involve, higher bids or anything like that.
And whenever we do this, I'll mention this, like we actually measure user behavior and user satisfaction, like users on mobile Google search, mobile search. And that drives a lot of our decisions. We saw that users love to click on ads that are close to them. The CTRs are higher. We saw that users convert better when the site is mobile optimized. So we said, okay, we need to make sure those signals are reinforced, and we are putting more of those results up for the user.
Absolutely.